That's good.
Somebody must be talking about me. My ears are burning.
Who talk about?
No, my ears are burning. Somebody must be talking about me.
Okay. We will start off tonight with the land acknowledgement. At the town of Trenton, we acknowledge that we are in the Mi'kmaq, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. This land is governed by the treaties of peace and friendship, first signed by the Mi'kmaq. We reside by Pictou Landing First Nation, which is governed by a chief and 5 council. And I'll call the meeting to order and ask for ask for approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion with approval of the agenda.
Second. Move second. Call for the question.
Question.
Question been called for. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Motion carried. Approval of the minutes, July 9th, 2024, regular council meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Move second. Call for the question.
Question?
Question been called for. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Motion carried. Any business arising from the minutes? Anyone have any business? No one?
No.
Okay, then we'll go into reports. First report we'll cover is the general government report. Any questions on this? You have it before you.
I have a question about the furniture bank, which I thought was interesting. It just said that you guys would bring it back and discuss with councils. I've heard about it talked about before, so it's exciting to kind of see it. I think it's been a need and talked about. Did they talk more? I know it says like large secure space, well ventilated and accessible entry for unloading items. Town of Glasgow is currently providing space. So is there an ask for us to look for or consider space, or is there any more details on it?
They just put it out to
Okay.
all councils.
Okay.
Have anybody had space?
Okay.
Right
And
there.
just to follow up on that, what they have, sorry, I'll speak into this. What they have right now in Glasgow is a temporary location.
Okay.
So that's why the ask went to all mayors and wardens, just to see if there was a space, an adequate space in any of the towns or the county to accommodate that. So it's getting that information out there, making sure all the councillors in each area know about that, so if they hear of anything,
Okay.
to bring that forward.
Okay. Thank you.
There's nothing down here?
Unfortunately, no.
No.
Okay, we need a motion to
I'll
accept
make a
that.
motion to receive the general government report for information.
I'll second.
Move second. Call for the question.
Question?
Question been called for. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Motion carried. CAO report.
So this was a follow-up from Councillor Earl's request at the July meeting, just to have, sorry, not the July meeting, it was August Committee of the Whole, and just to have an understanding of the projects, because there's quite a few capital projects that are coming to a completion this fall, and providing an anticipated completion date. Did anyone have any questions about the projects listed or the dates listed?
Any questions?
You don't
I'll make a
have-
motion we accept the report.
Do you need it?
I'll second it.
Move second. Call for the question.
Question?
Question been called for. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Motion carried. Public Works report.
Move to accept the report as submitted.
I'll second.
Move second. Call for the question.
Question?
Question been called for. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Motion carried. Water report.
I'll make a motion to accept.
I'll second.
Move second. Call for the question.
Question?
Question?
Question been called for. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Motion carried. Fire report.
I'll make a motion to receive the fire report for information.
I'll second.
Move second. Call for the question.
Question?
I have a quick question, more of a comment. I noticed more detail in this one, which was appreciated. I know it's a lot of the same format, but different numbers and some more details and stuff like that. So it was noticed and appreciated that had some more specifics in it than some of the regular pieces. So thank you.
I will be sure to pass that along.
Okay, question been called for. All in favor?
Aye.
Contraminded? Motion carried. Parks and Recreation report.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second.
Move to second. Call for the question.
I have one comment. Sorry, I put my notes down today, but I think just big kudos on no closures due to staffing. I know we had some issues last summer with sort of COVID and having not as many lifeguards trained and things like that. It was just like a tiny little line in the report, but that's pretty big. Staffing's impacting quite a few businesses and organizations, so
Yes.
that's huge,
It
especially for a
defi-
hot summer.
Oh, absolutely, because it definitely impacted our level of programming last summer.
Yeah.
It was a huge issue trying to find staff, and then staff that probably couldn't stay the whole summer.
Right.
They had to, their terms were cut short, so yes, it was a huge positive this summer.
It's like one little tiny line, but I think it's worth calling out.
I have a question. Did we shut the water off on the splash pad on the first, or is it still going?
No, it was shut off just last week. So
Okay.
there was, due to the 7th Street storm sewer separation beginning,
Okay.
they had to shut off the water to the
Should have
splash
Friday,
pad.
wouldn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, so there was no feedback from the public or nothing? I know that's the reason for it, know that.
But no,
No.
I think it was, there was a notice put out on social media to the residents, and there was no negative feedback.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Comments? I got a chance, more of a chance now to walk around the park. What trails are left to be finished for, in regards to Fiona? Is there any left?
No, all trails have been addressed with Fiona.
So we did cut some off then, eh?
No, all of the trails have been cleaned up due to Fiona
Yeah,
damage.
because the Trigo Trail has changed.
There is 2 trails that are still obstructed
Yeah.
because
Okay.
we had an e-bike a couple weeks ago, and there are 2. You can
True.
go up a little bit, but there's like a little, and it's one of the. Now I can't remember the name of it for that, but there are some that are still pretty heavily. You can
Okay.
still access and go around different ones, but there is.
The
A
Trio
couple.
Trail,
You used to be able to, when you could go straight, and the Morash Trail's to the left. It's straight ahead.
Okay.
And then the other one, if you before you hit Morash and going to the right, you can kind of go up and through by the old campground. But if you try to go straight, that's obstructed still.
Let me look into that.
Yeah.
Okay, because there's the regular trails that are maintained.
Yeah.
And then there's unmaintained trails, and then there could be some other trails that might not be official trails, or is this an official trail?
I think they used to be official
Oh, yeah.
trails. They're-
Prominent.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can still get around and do quite a bit, but Donnie's right. There's 2 kind of in the main artery right there. You can still get from the back of the park down, but there are some pieces in the middle that are obstructed.
I will look into that follow-up.
Yeah.
yeah, there used to be bridges on them. And you could actually get a truck or vehicle up most of the way on it. And now they're all filled in, so you can't, I walked it and you gotta go around a lot of debris, and you have to actually get off the trail to go around everything. But you can't visibly see a functional trail, but once you get a quarter of the way into it, it's sort of like going farther and farther into the woods, and you're still on the old trail, so I was just wondering, so. The other thing I'd like to question and basically bring up is with the break and enter last night,
Yes.
much damage, or did we lose any?
So there was a window that was damaged, and there was some damage to a gate that had some fencing. Now the gate has been repaired, and the window has been, there's been it's been covered up at least so no one can access into that window. It's already been addressed by an outside contractor to replace this week.
And I'd just like to send kudos to the police department for apprehending the individuals involved, so it was really quick work. And Okay, any other questions, comments? Motion's been called for. All in favor?
Aye.
Contraminded? Motion carried. Police report.
Move to accept the report as submitted.
I'll second it.
Move second, call for the question.
Got two comments. Just one, I think we talked about it before, and maybe with a new council coming in might be a good time. A more readable format or even a highlight. Like I find if I look at this about the occurrences, which we read through and what's going on, we don't know if there's repeated things that are happening or the same type of things or any kind of trends or anything like that. I know the RCMP and the municipality does a bit of a like on the streets kind of reporting of things that are happening. It just might help bring some attention to things. Or I'm not sure how the break and enter was reported or found last night of reminding people about the non-emergency line and things like that too might be
Right.
helpful. I just find it hard, like without any context in comparison to some other things, it might be helpful. And then my second point too is I want to bring up, I had seen a Facebook post, which isn't usually your go-to information source sometimes, but there was a report of needles disposed of at the Smelt Brook Trail at the entrance of it. So I messaged Elena because I just didn't know if anyone was mowing or anything like that. I know that that is an unmaintained trail, and I understand that. So I didn't know if you just wanted to speak to the process for that, because we talked about sort of who cleans it up, whose responsibility is it, but you had mentioned about how it's reported as an incident or whatever. So I didn't know if you could speak to that.
We can speak a little bit to it. Steve Cotter, Councillor Cotter, and myself were at a police commission board meeting last evening, and Councillor Cotter did address the issue at the board level. It is something that Chief Ryan Leal and New Glasgow and Trenton will be working on as a communication piece to residents. I think number one is always understanding that if it's not a 911 emergency, and whether it's if you're coming across something that is a concern, report it, because there needs to be an incident tracked. So they can understand maybe they might not respond immediately to that one first incident because it's a one-off.
Right.
But you know, if more people are reporting an incident in an area, they realize that there is an issue with either what's happening or that area. So and we're going to be putting that piece out in our newsletter as well this fall, so residents understand that, you know, I think you even shared it on your page as well. Program that non-emergency number right into your phone. So if you come across something that's not a 911 emergency, call the non-emergency line. Report it immediately. And so the police are aware of it and they can track it. And that's really the best advice. But as for needles themselves, if they're on town land, our staff, our public works staff, they are fully vaccinated with the Twin Rex. But depending on the situation, they may be uncomfortable with the cleanup. So it's involving the police in the situation. So every situation is going to be different, depending on the degree or the severity of what's going on there. So Public Works might not be comfortable cleaning it up. We will be speaking to the police about something like there was 30 needles found in that spot in Smelt Brook. Or do we have to contract that out to an outside source that's qualified to clean up that area? Because I know it's such an issue in New Glasgow right now that it's impossible for New Glasgow police to respond to every incident of reported needles, right? It's such a draw on their resources. Yeah. So I think number one is residents need to report it, and number two, there will be a communication piece going out to residents on A, if it's on your land, this is what you can do, or B, if it's on town land, this is what we can do to address the issue. So
The
Steve,
other
did I
thing
miss
they mentioned last night, that in New Glasgow, they putting some outdoor Sharpie containers around or whatever, so it may be a possibility we should look at.
Yeah.
Maybe one, I don't know where they were at down in Smelt Brook, but maybe a Sharpie container down by the bridge down there or somewhere on a post down that area somewhere where they can go in there and be taken out or whatever. So, but Chief Ryan Leo said that they are working on more of a presentation for staff, fire department, and everything else. So they turn around to get educated on it, whatever. So, and some of our staff are already inoculated for it, and others, I don't know if they all are or not. So
Public
it's,
Works are,
yeah.
yes.
So it's just an educational thing, and
Yeah.
I know there was only one other incident I can recall in the last number of years, was a house up on Maple Street that was vacant.
Yeah.
And there was tons of needles in there, whatever. It was an empty house, but people were going in there, sleeping in there where they shouldn't be and all that stuff. So it's just, unfortunately, it's easing our way. And they have the same problem, I believe, in Stellarton as well. So it's all around us, so.
Yeah,
It's
so,
just a matter of
yeah.
time it's gonna come, so.
Okay, well, thanks for bringing it up at the
Yeah.
police station. And yeah, I think the biggest thing is the education piece, like you mentioned about the
Yes.
non-emergency police line, to have it in your phone just in case you need it or
Yeah.
you see anything. Because I know we talked about
Absolutely.
incident reports before, even if your bike gets stolen and thinking it's not a big deal or something like that. But if there's a series of thefts going on, then we have a bigger issue. And that's, I guess, kind of what I'm getting at too with the formatting thing. Like the incident reports are there, but are there trends, are there things that are happening that we need to be helping educate on, I guess?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's getting that word out, so people don't, they don't have apprehensive, or they're not apprehensive to contact the police department and discuss something that they're not aware of, they don't understand, but they feel like there's an issue.
Sure.
So, yeah.
I have a small question. I remember one of our meetings from before with the police. Were they going to do bike patrols in the park and that? Did they do that? And would they cover that trail? Or even if it's once a week or whatever? Maybe they didn't do it. I don't know. That's my question.
Right, so I don't have a timeline of the bike patrols that were done at the park, but it was at the park level, yes,
Right.
yes.
So they wouldn't cover that trail?
I'm not aware that they were going to cover Smelt Brook Trail, the airport trail. I just know that they were going to be in the park area. They were going to be, it was going to be a presence at the park on the bike patrol.
Okay, thank you.
Have you seen
And
that
one-
hill?
One other thing,
Seen the
and
hill there?
one other thing at the police commission meeting last night, on behalf of town council, I congratulated Chief Ryan Leal on his promotion, so to give it to him on behalf of the mayor and council. So it's, we get a new chief, there is a process for acquiring a new deputy. It will be within, so it's gonna be a time-consuming incident, but other than that, that's it.
Competition. Anything else on the police report? Questions been called for, all in favor?
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Motion carried. And we only have one item for information only. That is the Healthy Pictou County report. Does anybody have any questions, concerns, or? Nobody? With that said, we don't need a motion for that, so we'll move on. We have two recommendations from Committee of the Whole, and so we have a motion. And we need a motion, a resolution, to be it resolved that Trenton Town Council grants first reading for the adoption of the intermunicipal planning strategy, Town of Trenton's secondary planning strategy, and common uniform land use bylaw, as outlined under the Municipal Government Act of Nova Scotia, for the towns of Pictou, Stellarton, and Trenton. Be it further resolved that a public hearing will be held at 5:30 p.m. October 8, 2024, at the Trenton Town Council Chambers to consider any comments, objections, or submissions with respect to this application. With that said, we need a motion to,
Make a motion, goes into first reading.
Oh, second.
move to second. Call for the question.
Question.
Question been called for. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Motion carried. And the second one is approval of the storm sewer separation project bid summary from CBCLL. And you need a motion to approve the recommendation received from CBCL Limited to award the 7th Street Sewer Separation Project to S.W. Weeks Construction Limited. The project will take place on 7th Street between Duke and Dutchess, and price of the project is $1,189,210 plus HST. The budget was $1,494,605 plus HST. And we need a motion for that.
I'll make that motion, Your Worship.
I'll second it.
Move second. Call for the question.
Question?
Question been called for, all in favor?
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Motion carried. Anything else to come before council? With that said, we will do a round table. Councillor Carter.
Yes, Your Worship, as you know, today was the closing for the candidates for the mayor and council throughout the county and everything else. It's going to be electronic voting this year as it was 4 years ago. And I would like to thank all the councillors and mayor and staff for their help and wisdom in the last 4 years. I will not be reoffering this time, but we have 2 councillors that are and 4 others vying for their job. All the best to you all. And Your Worship, I believe you're retiring as well, so we will have a new mayor. And like I say, good luck to all of you. And that's it.
Councillor Earl.
He took my glory. Yes, the election is well underway now, and I see there's lots of signs up in the street. I wish everybody good luck, and hopefully everything goes smoothly. The second thing I'd like to thank the ice cream stand at the park, Cohen's Ice Cream. They well met their needs this year. They sold a lot more this year than they did last year, and it's a great place to have it, and I think they did a great job. Thank you very much. Sorry.
They both took 2 of mine, is what I'll still say. I have a Cohen's kudos. They're always so friendly. It's great. They just were such a great addition to the park, which was so nice. Really excited for the skate park to get started too. People are going to be really excited about that getting started. And I just want to mention too, so you can see on my council page, we have New to the Crew Social starting tomorrow night. We had one last month, so it's a monthly event that takes place. The location changes. Let me call it up right so I get it right. So tomorrow night we're at Mobility Fitness from 5 to 7. So that's just above the subway over in Stellarton. So it's a chance for anyone new to the community to meet people and anyone from the community who wants to welcome people or meet some new folks. In October, we'll be at the DeCoste Center, and then we're at the New Glasgow Library. So the location's actually moving around the county, which is really exciting. So excited about that. And I just want to wish everyone good luck as well in the election. That's all.
I'm going to say my goodbyes and thank you when I go out the door. Okay. But with, just for Councillor LeBlanc, do we have any update on the tennis court and the outdoor, I forget what you call it now, it's not a tennis court.
Skateboard park in the
Skateboard park and all-purpose park?
Yes. So I was in a virtual meeting this morning with our engineer and the contractor for the skateboard park project. Completion of the design drawings will be received, I believe, by Friday for approval by our engineer, and they should be on site within a week and a half for the skateboard park project. And we should be receiving a proposal by Friday for the updated tennis courts. So, and with anticipated completion this fall. So I'm waiting on that piece right now. So
Does that have to go into design as well, or are they just going to?
the
But-
company that we're working with, that discussing about the updated tennis courts, they have they've been in the business for years. So it's there was already a pre-design prepared by our engineer, and so it won't be as extensive as the skateboard park project design. So yes,
Yeah. Pretty straightforward.
yes, it's more straightforward. Yes.
Follow up to that?
Yeah, on that specifically, when you said it, did we make sure that it's not going to impact the bus stop? Because the bus stop's right there.
Yes, no impact to the bus
Okay.
stop. So that parking area will remain. And there will be an asphalt walkway extending from the parking lot over to the skateboard park.
Okay.
So it will run alongside the updated tennis courts.
On the grass
On
side
the
or on the
grass
road?
si- on the grassy side, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so there'll be a very accessible walkway
Oh, great.
to the skateboard park.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Thank you.
You keep stealing half my
I'm sorry.
question.
That was like, as soon as you said it, I was like, what about the bus stop? Sorry.
I have one thing I'd like to say about the skateboard park before we go any further.
Wait now, if we could just stay on the bus stop.
Oh.
Any update on that? on the actual route and riders and everything?
Just that ridership is, I haven't received any new numbers, so I can't speak to that, but it is being used. I mean, days I leave here from work at the end of the day, and I see people waiting outside the library to get on the bus and go back into New Glasgow.
Okay.
So it is being used, and ridership has been steadily increasing since it began in June, but
We'll get a
I can
good
follow
feel.
up on numbers. Yes.
Councillor, we'll put you
Thank
back.
you, thank you. About the skateboard park, I think the children and students in the town are getting anxious about it because the middle school is right up the hill from my house, and I've watched 4 kids carry skateboards down the hill in
Yes.
the last 2 days. So they're getting anxious for it anyway, so it should be a great hit in our town. Thanks.
Thank you.
Is there any update on the museum?
We
know-
have no
I know-
control over that, and we haven't heard anything, so.
At the Pictou County Sports?
Yeah,
They had a meeting today at 4:15, which I could not attend.
But it's progressing. From what
It's moving forward,
it
but
is,
slowly.
Yeah.
yes. I believe they're anticipating completion in next year, spring. So, but I could be presumptuous by saying that.
No comment.
and we haven't heard anything on the school?
No, nothing further on the school, no.
Okay. Do you have anything further?
The only thing I would have to add is that official results for, because today was nomination day and it closed at 5 o'clock, official results will be issued this evening. Electionspictoucounty.ca, and a media statement will go out tomorrow. So people will know who is running in each of their units, municipalities.
Mayor Lou, do you have anything? No, I don't. That said, some? Yeah. With that said, I believe you're both press, are you? Oh. Going out to the gallery, do you have any questions you would like to ask council? Clarification or?
No, we just wanted to just chat afterwards. But nothing related to this exactly.
Nothing? No. Okay. With that said, we need a motion, we'll be ending the meeting, and we need a motion to go on camera.
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
All right.
So we're going to camera, we'll have to ask you to leave, so appreciate it, thank you.